Thank you, Commissioner. For those of you who are newly appointed or reappointed, please pull up the oath of office. There should be a document on your desk. Okay. Everybody has. Who's ahead of us? You can stand and raise your right hand. Yep. I state your name.
I, Robert Davis.
Do solemnly swear or affirm.
Solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And to the governments established in the United States and in this state.
And to the governments established in the United States and to this state.
Under the authority of the people.
Under the authority of the people.
And that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform.
And that I will faithfully, impartially,
and justly perform
all the duties as a Commissioner of the SERA Economic and Redevelopment Agency for a term expiring.
agency for a 5-year term expiring 12/31/2030.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. So you are officially now Commissioner. Jamie, you want to read the open public meeting? The meeting was noticed? Thank you.
Yes, it has been.
So we will go into the reorganizations, and my role ends after we nominate the chairperson. So I'll take a nomination for the appointment of a chairperson.
I nominate John Zambrowski for chairperson.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
DeWise,
I'm sorry, I should have asked if there any other nomination. There's none. Go ahead.
DeWise.
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Grillo,
With pleasure.
Parikh,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Yes.
Now the chairman will take over.
Thank you, everybody. At this point, I'd like to take nominations for the appointment of vice chairperson.
I nominate Steve Guerrillo as
Second.
vice chair.
I'd second that nomination.
We have a nomination for Steve Grillo. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none, can I have a roll call?
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
DeWise,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you all.
Roll call, Commissioner Stewart.
The
Oh,
secretary and board
Vortex,
secretary.
Chairman and board members, by statute, the executive director is secretary. In the past, we've appointed an assistant secretary in case the secretary is absent and we need someone to sign documents. So if there are nominations for someone to be the assistant secretary, and that job might require someone to work and do something once a year. But you never know when you need it. And since we have a lot of things coming up with the bond closings, it would be good to have that backup in case Himanshu can't make it.
I suggest, Commissioner, I suggest that we appoint Zach as an assistant secretary.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
DeWise,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. Are there any other nominations?
That's
That completes it. Do I need to have a roll call of all commissioners now, or we completed
We should
that?
do a roll call.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Davis,
Here.
DeWise,
Here.
Fisher,
Here.
Grillo,
Here.
Parikh,
Here.
Rios,
Here.
Roberts,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Chairman Zabrowski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Calendar year, we have this done.
That's done.
That's done. All right, we have the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was December 11th, 2025. They have been distributed to all members. If you've had the chance to review them, let me know if there are any edits, changes to that. Otherwise, I would take a motion to approve.
Second.
For roll call, please.
Commissioner Davis,
I wasn't at the last meeting, but I did read them and I approve.
thank you. Dwight,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Parikh,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
You skipped me.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Grillo.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Can someone who did not attend the last meeting actually vote on the minutes?
If you've reviewed the minutes?
If you've reviewed them, okay.
And move on to our attorney report. I know that we have a couple of resolutions that are on the agenda this evening. And Mike, I'm sure you'll give an explanation of each.
Absolutely, Chairman. Mic on? Yes, Chairman. Commissioners, recall that in May or June of last year, the agency adopted a procurement policy and a Title VII civil rights policy as part of our efforts to satisfy the requirements of the state and federal governments to get the approximately $1.3 million planning grant for the intermodal transportation study. The agency staff has been working with the feds and with the state government, and in October, there were some changes to the federal laws. The federal agency has asked us to amend our procurement policies and our civil rights policies. And what you have before you tonight are the amended policies that the civil rights folks and the federal transportation folks are asking us to adopt. It was a little bit clunky process-wise because they would not allow the attorneys to be on the call, much to the executive director's frustration. But we made our way through it. I want to thank the business administrator, Glenn Skarzinski, for loaning the agency under our shared service agreement, the borough's grant writer. She was very instrumental in putting these together.
Do we have any questions or comments for Mike's discussion on these two resolutions?
Let me just add to clarify the purpose of the FTA grant. Dave Samuel, who initiated this grant several years back, was approved. Unfortunately, there's a federal requirement, extensive requirement. It's over a year now. We've been trying to get this grant requirement complete and get it onboarded so we can draw the funds. And so all this requirement that is coming that we normally do not need for our own business is what we are adopting to meet the federal guidelines. So this is all coming from the federal guideline requirement. I think we're almost there. I did receive a communication today from the FTA person that we're dealing with it. And tomorrow we'll upload this document. We'll send them these documents that should complete and we should get the grant, which will allow, obviously our engineer will conduct the study to see the path from Riverton to the train stations to other transportation. That's the idea, saying how do we get people transport out of Riverton to all the public transportation facilities. Thank you.
Mike, anything else?
That's it, Chairman.
If there's no other questions for our attorney, move on to our engineer, Justin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Work continued at the Riverton site this month. Light poles were installed in the Bass Pro parking lot. The fuel tank was installed for the quick check, and work continues at the pump station. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Questions or comments for our engineer? If not, I'll move on to our planner's report. Ina, how are you?
Good. Actually, I have nothing new to report. However, No, actually, that's not true. Because with the housing plan, a lot has happened. Transit Village has become a priority. So I was going to reach out to John and Himanshu so that we can get that ball rolling, because I think it's very important when it's a Transit Village. It is very important to involve the owners. So I think the first step would be to reach out to them and get them together. But however, because it's the housing plan, the board planner is also involved. I don't want to overstep. I want to involve them. Although in a couple of meetings with Fair Housing Center, they have asked me to take lead on it because they haven't done Transit Village before. So I want to set that up. And in fact, we completed all the area investigation studies that were listed, except for this Transit Village, which was adopted by the council just recently. But now we are in the planning stage. For example, Main Street and Crossman, there is a property owner who is interested in redeveloping his site. In fact, he met with me right after the planning board meeting, asking me what is the next step. And I explained to him that try to get a concept together and ask for a meeting with us so that we can go over and then we can get that started. Similarly, with Ernston Road, I already met with the property owner who's interested in developing. She has her team now working on a concept, and they are keeping me in the loop. So that's the next plan. Sunshine Biscuit, the plan is ready. I just wanted the council to settle in before I go in. So I'm waiting for directions from you guys to let me know when I can go and present it to the council. And that's pretty much it. But I think we achieved quite a lot last year with all the area investigation studies. Now it's the planning phase. So the real fun will start now with, you'll see projects coming in front of the planning board in the future as well.
We'll also have to address this year, hope to address, start looking at a Route 35 corridor.
Yes.
We have addressed this western side from Route 9 further, but now we have to start looking at Route 35 area.
And actually, with Route 35, the most interesting thing is I wanted to see if we can get a meeting with DOT, because Route 35 has been a topic of discussion even in Old Bridge, and it is a common corridor. So when a plan is prepared, I think that it should be like a master plan for Route 35 corridor, which is in sync with the neighboring towns too. So I think initiating that meeting and explaining the vision, because it has a lot of potential and a lot of cleanup is also needed on Route 35 in both the towns. So, I think that's a good approach to reach out to DOT, have a meeting with them. Because, for example, like I know there was a time when I used to feel a pedestrian overhead bridge, NJDOT would never say yes to that. But now things are changing. Like we are talking about an overhead pedestrian bridge, an old bridge. And I had a meeting with DOT where they were like, no, if it is transit oriented and if there is a crowd, we will be okay working with you guys. So things are changing. So I think the first step would be to just involve DOT right in the beginning to understand and explain our vision, and then take it from there because they control the roadway. And one thing I missed is TOA. That has become a priority. So at the next meeting, you will see a revised redevelopment plan for TOA before it goes to the council. You've seen the concept, but now it will be the actual document that will come in front of you. So I'm working on that, and it should be there next meeting.
As far as what we were just talking about, the Sunshine Biscuits property, and then I know there's been interest in discussing that in front of the council. If you are prepared, we can make preparation for that for our next meeting if that accommodates your schedule.
Okay. Let's talk about it. And if that's the case, I can definitely be available for a discussion.
I believe when next council meeting is on January 26th.
26th.
26th. So just double check your calendar and make.
Yeah, I think I should be available to come and present.
Yep.
Good to see you, Vina. Quick question, or just a comment, really. Route 35, when I was a councilman, this is now, I guess, 8, 9 years ago, I had the Rutgers Planning School at Blaustein prepare a master plan for Route 35, and I think I have it still somewhere. Yeah, right. So I have it in my files. I think, yeah, Justin found it. So I'll happily share that with you because there's probably still some relevant data, but they spent about a year developing, and obviously it's different today, you know, a lot of changes, but worth looking at. But yeah, the idea of a TOD corridor made sense then and it makes sense now. I'm curious about the Raritan Street Transit Village. Can you just maybe just refresh my memory? It's not just the parking lot, correct, that we're looking to designate? Can you maybe you could just tell everybody for the sake of.
So there was some misunderstanding, I think, when the plan was submitted because Fair Housing Center had objected that how can you have a transit village for just the NJ Transit parking lot? That's not true. It's an entire area surrounding the NJ Transit parking lot. It is roughly like 55 acres in total. Yes, and so there are multiple parcels, but they all are surrounding that NJ Transit lot. What has been happening in the past is NJ Transit is trying to offload their properties and give it away to EDA, and then EDA is coming back and redeveloping, looking for bids and developers who can come and create mixed-use development. This parcel, luckily, is not part of that transaction with EDA, which means that we still have the commuter parking lot available. And if we take advantage of that parking lot, a bus stop, because you have this call out or where you have the bus stop, you can create a mixed use development right in that neighborhood where people can just walk and take the bus. You don't need to depend on auto. And this area actually is so beautifully placed. It's between Route 35 on one side and Parkway on the other, that any developer or any owner that wants to take advantage of the designation, it'll be helpful. One of the principal properties or the larger properties there is the Rite Aid, which is vacant, and that would be the first starting point. And then you could create a pedestrian friendly walkable community just surrounding that parking lot. So it's not one piece of property, it is multiple properties that are around it.
It's great. It's great in every way. Rite Aid. Does Rite Aid corporate own that property, or is there a private owner that owns it and then leases?
I'm not aware of that. Because now the next step would be, trying to reach out to these property owners. Then that's when I really go into who owns the property.
And who owns the lot? Is that the Turnpike Authority?
Yes.
So we would have to negotiate with them.
Yes.
Okay.
And then,
And actually, I had a meeting with NJ Transit, the director of planning already, before we included it in the housing plan, because we wanted like a letter of support. Should Fair Housing Center question that is transit on board with this? Because see, there are two types, and I've been trying to explain this to many people, but there is transit oriented development and then there is transit village designation.
Right.
The designation is much more complicated, and the designation opens you up to a lot of state funding. But it is a long process. There's a lot of public participation. There's multiple agencies involved. But when it's a transit-oriented development, you're just creating mixed-use community surrounding a bus terminus or a train, and basically you're concentrating growth in the area which can be supported by bus ridership rather than being auto dependent. And I think that's where it is advantageous for Sayreville, because if you're looking at the whole town and you're thinking of how do we meet the affordable housing obligation, this would be the best way. Because one, if you're within the transit oriented, you get 1+1 bonus credit on the development. In addition to that, if there is a special needs housing in that area, then you get another bonus credit. So there's a lot of advantage in creating these, and the state has been promoting there's some FTA grant that was granted to NJ Transit along just Route 9. Unfortunately, Sayreville was not part of it, but I bring it up only because there are like 17 nodes where they're trying to develop transit-oriented development. And it's a shame that this one was missed. But again, I get it because they were talking about a particular bus line, and that bus line doesn't come in Sayreville. But that is the only way I was able to rope in NJ Transit and say that, look, we have a bus stop here already. There's underutilization. Can we proceed with a transit-oriented development?
And then just my last question. So in the affordable housing plan that was approved by the council this year, so that's 173 units plus 48 and a half as the bonus because it's the 1+1. And then we're also involved in the Gillette Towers expansion. That's the TOVA project.
Right.
That's 16 units.
That is 16 units, but then you get bonus for the special needs too.
Do you know why it's not listed in the, because that was the whole point, right, of the special needs? It's
Yeah.
not listed here, but.
It's not, because I don't think it was finalized by then. They were still contemplating on the special needs, because every town now is pushing towards, there's a high demand for special needs throughout the state. I know a family friend who really travels down south to put up his kids. So there is nothing in this area. So many municipalities are taking advantage of the special needs housing, and TOA is working on getting that.
You said they have to come back at our February meeting?
Yes, so there will be a redevelopment plan amendment that that I will present at the next meeting.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Definition of transit village. I thought it was be near a rail station, but it now, if you're near a bus.
Actually, it always included bus station also, but it was something that was overlooked. Nobody really gave it so much thought until like many years ago. I think it was almost 8 years ago when Hamanshu was the BA in Overbridge. We talked about it because there's your valuable real estate sitting and nobody wants to take advantage of the transit village. And with transit village, there is always an off-site improvement. So whether it's bus, whether it's a train, as long as you're using public transportation and creating a development that relies on the public transportation, then you are a transit village. Pardon me? Yes. Yes.
I just have a couple of simple questions, if I may. Thank you for bringing in Route 35. Is that the corridor, including the corridor where it comes off of the bridge?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing that. You had said that the EDA was taking over from, who is the EDA?
The Economic Development Authority.
Okay, that's the state.
Yes, it's the
Okay.
statewide.
And just to clarify, can you, I heard the terms transit village and transit oriented development, right? That you're talking about?
Yes.
Which one has the greater funding?
So transit village designation has a greater funding because that designation comes from NJDOT, and it's a lengthy process. But if you can always pursue or create a transit oriented development and then apply for a transit village later. To give you an example, like City of Orange, when they got their designation, there was a plan in place for almost 5 years. And then they submitted it for designation because there are multiple steps. There is a pre-application meeting that you conduct with NJDOT, NJ Transit, DCA. So literally the who's who attends the meeting. And at that pre-application meeting, you explain to them what you're trying to achieve. They give you only 6 months to finish a study, a plan, have public participation. So that becomes very difficult to achieve. So the workaround I found out is You start the work earlier, you have the study done, you have a plan in place, and then call for a pre-application meeting so that then you get a little more wiggle room. And see, with these plans, right, the real plan is only when there is a developer interested in it. So you could write a plan, but that is what happens. Many of the redevelopment plans, they sit on the bookshelf, but they don't proceed because they're sometimes not very feasible economically. So unless a developer comes in and says, hey, you have this plan, but I want to do this, and can we work together, is when the real plan occurs, right? So that gives you that time to amend your plan as well and submit it. Once you submit, once you've met all the criterias and you submit it to NJDOT, DOT takes 18 months to review it because they have an extensive committee. So there is even a member of NJHMFA who sits on it. There is a member from DCA. So there are different representations, and they review your application and then they rate it and they decide whether you really qualify. Once you qualify, then you open up to a lot of funding.
So it does sound like a very complex process to get through, and you sound like you've got a lot of expertise in it. But my main question would be, what is the critical criteria that would change you from transit-oriented to transit village? Is there a specific?
So, no, when we do this transit-oriented development, I'm going to try and hit the checklist anyways, so that we are ready to apply. If we get it, we get it.
So
You know?
that's what I'm asking. What are some of the key things on the checklist?
So public participation, involvement of the owners right from day one. There are 2 shreds that need to be conducted, and wherein you invite people into the town hall and they give their suggestions or the vision for that area, and you incorporate those in the design standards as well. And then in the application itself, you have to write as to what you want to achieve in the area. To give you an example, pedestrian connectivity, bicycle paths, so that people don't have to depend on auto. You have to prove a case that this is not going to add to the traffic on the road, whereas these people are really going to walk or bike to the bus stop and use the bus service.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions or comments for our planner? If not, I just want to make a couple of my own comments. First, this is I think a very exciting plan, and one that really can, in a very collaborative way, make a very positive impact on SERA, both from an economic standpoint, from a standpoint of having funds come into maybe work around the roadways and make improvements at that, and also as well as checking off the box for the affordable housing. But I do want to caution that this is at a very infancy stage at this point too. And as Veena has said, because I don't want anybody to jump the gun and say, all of a sudden, oh, we have this plan in place and this development is coming. This is the beginning of this, at the very, very beginning of this. And we've been very lucky that we've had our expertise of Veena, who's had a lot of opportunity to work and skill and grow her skills in the Transit Village area. But there is going to be plenty of time for public participation as well as the property owners to be involved as well. So I don't want anybody to kind of say, this is coming tomorrow. But also I don't want anybody to say, well, how come I didn't have a say in this? That process is going to move forward, correct?
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of notice for everyone as that goes on as well.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I think it is important, the designation, when I looked at the designation in Old Bridge several years back, as Veena indicated, one of the things we had to do is to prepare the community, the leaders, and everybody to be a positive understanding and positive feedback, because the NJ Transit, because they have so many applications, we are competing with a lot of communities. It is important that we have a joint efforts from all our council members, community leaders, our professionals. Everybody's on board and supporting, continue to support. because as you said, it's going to be a long process. But I think that if you look at town after town who has received the designation, has tremendously benefited with the changes and improvement and support. So, but like you said, it's absolutely, we haven't even really done step one yet. It's it's a long time, long process. So, but I would just request that everybody support the idea and the concept to go forward with it.
And if you don't mind, I want to just echo what the chairman said. When you look at this, at our round 4 obligation, we have 193 units to be built. 90% of them are on one site. And that one site is proximate to the Garden State Parkway and a bus station. I mean, most towns would be very envious of a site this prime. And so I think it's terrific that Vina and the SERA team in its entirety said, yes, we should be doing transit-oriented development at the site. If we get into the Transit Village program, even better. But for a municipality to get through its round 4 with having 90% of its built units right next to a transit hub, that's about as good as it gets. And I think that as a board, we should recognize not only that that's an accomplishment, but there's some really positive collaborative work that's going to come with this, as the chairman said. But this is no small thing. I think it's a really terrific accomplishment to have it put into the affordable housing plan.
I'm going to now segue to our executive director's report.
My usual written report will start in February, but I just want to report a couple, there's a lot of things that Rena has already covered that I wanted to report, but I just want to give you an update on our River Road properties that we are considering for our tiki bar restaurants idea. Right across our parking lot is being now fenced. It should be all done by tomorrow, and the gate will be put on. And I discussed this concept with you. There's a potential that we may have owner of the Tap and Growler interested in renting the parking area. And when I looked at it, I thought that was a good idea because that will alleviate the congestions on a River Road property if his patrons parks on our parking lot. So we're going to enter into negotiation of what type of rent he's willing to pay, and then consider that. There's some work to be done before we finally do it. There's going to be the parking area needs to be either gravel or updated, but I think it's going to be a win-win for town and the business owners.
But we have not issued an RFP for the actual development of
No, we haven't done anything. We just wanted to get the fencing done first. So that's complete now. And now we're going to consider either an RFP or a negotiation. I think, Mike, we could negotiate, right? We don't have the same requirement as the town.
It's an existing redevelopment area, so you can negotiate with whomever you want to designate as the redevelopment.
And I think right now, we want to limit it for something like that, which helps the community business owners, rather than having somebody, parking their excess vehicles down there. And because one of the problem everybody know, David reported on that property, what initiated the whole plan was that we have a property next door, which has a, potential contamination parking on our lot. We didn't want that. We don't want our property to be contaminated, then we have to deal with it, so. Okay? Board.
Any additional questions or questions for our executive director? If not, I'm going to move on to authorization for payment of bills, a total amount of $37,525.27, which is broken down to operating total of $25,626.52 and escrow $11,898.75. Are there any questions related to bill payment? If not, I'll take a motion to approve. We have a second? Can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Davis. DeWise. Fisher. Grillo.
Yes.
Parikh. Rios.
Yes.
Roberts. Scott.
Yes.
And Chairman Zbrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Move on to approval of resolutions. We have resolution 2026 1.02, a resolution of SERA adopting title, was that Title 6 or Title 7?
Title
6 policy. Can I get a motion? This was previously discussed by our attorney.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
DeWise,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now on to B, 2026-13, a resolution of the Cerebral Economic and Redevelopment Agency adopting amended procurement policy. Again, this previously discussed during the attorney period. Any additional questions or comments? If not, a motion?
So moved.
Roll call?
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
DeWise,
Yes.
Fisher, Grillo,
Yes.
Parikh,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now moving on to commissioners' comments, and before I open it up, I just want to welcome everybody back in the new year. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Glad to see some our familiar faces back and continuing on. And Alberto, welcome. We appreciate you being a part of SERA. You'll find that this is a very collaborative process. We have great discussions on how to move forward in Saraville. You'll also probably say after you leave today that your head's spinning a little bit because there's a lot of information going on at the meeting. We assure you and we guarantee you that we'll spend time going over all the many projects that SERA is undertaking, such to have a full the full value of everything that's been going on. So welcome. And I'll open up to any our commissioners' comments.
I
None?
want to wish everybody a happy new year, and I look forward to a very busy and exciting year.
Thanks, Bob.
I would echo that in saying this is a great group of people and it's something I look forward to every month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Now, if I can get a motion to for public comment, opening to the public.
Make a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? To help keep this meeting as organized as possible, we ask members of the public to approach, state your name, and strive to limit your comments to 5 minutes. All comments this evening should refer to the redevelopment and agenda items per NJSA 10-4-12A and the Cerebral Economic and Redevelopment Agency's rules. In the event a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made during regular business hours with the agency's office. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to open up to the public. Anybody from the public like to speak? Going once? Twice. Kevin, while you're here, do you have any updates on anything you'd like to share with the board moving? Good. Thank you, Kevin. Can I get a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion to close the public.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I know that there's no executive session this evening, so can we get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year. Good job, Rena.
Okay.
So those commissioners, the